Good morning. I hereby call this meeting to order, and thank you for being seated. I'd like to recognize some special guests, Chairwoman Representative Nicole Miller. Where is she? Right there. Thank you for being here. Vipla Reddy is here with the FHWA, right there. Paul Zachary, City of Tulsa. Yep, there he is. And of course, Bobby Stem, AOGC. Thank you for joining us. Commission Secretary will please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn?
Coburn here.
Mr. Grimsley?
Grimsley here.
Mr. Shannon?
Here.
Mr. Freimiller?
Freimiller here.
Mr. Dyson?
Dyson here.
Mr. Alexander?
Alexander here.
Mr. LaForge?
LaForge here.
Mr. Junk?
Junk here.
Mr. Peterson?
Here. Director Gatz, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. If I might recognize Daniel Wynn for an introduction.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission. I am pleased to announce the selection of Brandon Dudgeon as the new Project Management Division Manager. Mr. Dudgeon will take on the role to guide the delivery of the 8-year construction work plan and the 4-year asset preservation plan in coordination with the 8 field districts. Brandon has worked at ODOT in the right-of-way and utilities division, and most recently in the local government division. Previous to his ODOT career, he served the communities of Stillwater and Weatherford as a law enforcement officer. Brandon, if you mind standing, please help me welcome Brandon to his new role.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I'm honored to announce the selection of Jason Giebler as the State Bridge Engineer. In his role, he will oversee a number of bridge-related disciplines, including project design for replacement, repairs, maintenance, and inspection of structures across the state, as well as monitoring bridge projects during construction. Giebler's career at ODOT began as an engineer summer intern in 2002. He joined the University of Oklahoma Bridge Design Squad later that year. In 2006, Giebler became in engineering training before starting in Bridge Division in 2007, where he served many roles including bridge designer, bridge construction and design assistance, and has been the assistant bridge engineer over design and construction since 2021. Jason holds a master's and a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from OU. He is a member of ODOT's Engineering Development Council, an active member of AASHTO Committee on Bridges and Structures, and holds a professional engineering and structural engineering license. Notable projects he's been involved in include the Main Street Bridge over I-35 in Norman, the I-44 Belle Isle Bridge Repair Project, and the BNSF Accelerated Truss Bridge Project over I-235. Born in Hays, Kansas, and raised in Weatherford, Oklahoma, Jason and his wife Monica reside in Norman with their 2 daughters. Please help me welcome Mr. Jason Giebler to the position of State Bridge Engineer.
Director Gatz, anything further? Thank you. Item 88 is approval of the minutes of the Transportation Committee meeting on June 3rd, 2024. Do I have a motion for approval of item 88?
So moved, Grimsley.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Dyson.
Second, Dyson. Thank you. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. The consent docket contains item 89. If any commissioner would like to pull that item out for discussion, he may do so at this time. Otherwise, I'll hear a motion for approval of the consent docket.
So move.
So moved. Commissioner Shannon, and do I have a second?
Second, Freimiller.
Thank you very much. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 90 is engineering contracts. Mr. Nguyen, you are recognized to present.
Good morning again. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, item 90 is the engineering contracts. This morning, we have 3 different items, 2 statewide and 1 project-specific. Item A will be all districts statewide site adaptation and engineering and architectural services. The department has selected 2 firms to produce site adaptation of prototypical building plans and supporting documentation and services, including structural, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, civil, and architectural items necessary to construct and bring into operation field facilities and future maintenance yards. Contracts will be for CEC Corporation and CH Guernsey and Company. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 2 contracts is $4 million and will be task-driven and agreed upon by the consulting firm and department as needed. Item B is all districts statewide on-demand bridge assessment. The department has selected 4 firms to provide bridge assessment services. These firms may be utilized on an as-needed basis in support of the department staff. The firms are Burgess & Nyepel, Consor Engineers, H.W. Lochner, and Walter P. Moore and Associates. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 4 contracts is $1 million and will be task-driven for the on-call services and agreed upon by the consulting firm and department as needed. Item C is in District 4 in Oklahoma County. The department has selected Poe and Associates to prepare construction plans for I-35 northbound and southbound over the Oklahoma River, 5.7 and 5.6 miles north of the Cleveland County line, and the SLWC and BNSF bridges under I-35, approximately 5.4 miles north of the Cleveland County line. Proposed project improvements include adding capacity to the roadway, geometric improvements, and replacing the bridge on existing alignment. Services to include survey, environmental, geotechnical investigations, pavement design, utilities, preliminary and final design, and will culminate in the submittal of plans, specifications, and estimates. The contract will have a not-to-exceed value of $11,806,180. The project is located in the 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date of federal fiscal year 2028. Approval is recommended, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 90?
LaForge, move for approval.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Dyson.
Thank you. And any discussion? If not, please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 91 is engineering contracts. Mr. Nguyen, please continue.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Item 91 has 4 parts, 1 statewide and 3 project-specific. Item A is all districts statewide on-demand NEVI grant management. This will be supplement number 1. The department previously selected HNTB Corporation to provide NEVI grant management. This supplement is a not-to-exceed amount of $825,000. The total not-to-exceed amount for this contract is $1,825,000 and will be task-driven for the on-call services and agreed upon by the consulting firm and department as needed. Item B is in District 2, McCurtain County, supplement number 4. The department previously authorized Freeze and Nichols to perform preliminary engineering and prepare construction plans for US 259 from 8.25 miles north of the junction of State Highway 3, extending north 4 miles, and US 259 from approximately 0.12 miles south of the 259A South Junction, extending north approximately 2.28 miles. Proposed project improvements include reconstructing, rehabilitating the existing facility, adding capacity to the roadway, and intersection modifications. This supplement is for additional engineering to develop final construction plans. The supplement total is not to exceed $800,000. This brings the total engineering contract cost, including this supplement, to $2,785,450. The projects are included in the 8-year construction work plan, one of which is later on this year in federal fiscal year 2024, and one will be in federal fiscal year 2026. Item C is in District 3, Garvin County, supplement number 1. The department previously authorized MKEC Engineering to prepare construction plans for State Highway 76 over Unnamed Creek, 4.8 miles north of the Carter County line. Proposed project improvements, including rehabilitating the existing facility, replacing the bridge on existing alignment. This supplement is for additional engineering to develop final construction plans. The supplement has a not-to-exceed value of $15,000, which brings the total contract cost, including the supplement, to $193,555. The project is included in the 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date of federal fiscal year 2029. Item D is in District 8, Tulsa County, supplement number 8. The department previously authorized Poe and Associates to prepare construction plans for I-44 at the US 75 interchange. This will be for work package number 3. Proposed project improvements include adding capacity to the roadway, adding adding traffic control devices and sidewalks, geometric improvements, and replacing bridges on offset alignment. This supplement is for additional engineering to develop final construction plans. The not-to-exceed value of the supplement is $299,620. This brings the total engineering contract cost, including the supplement, to $5,229,579. The project is in the 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date of later on this year in federal fiscal year 2024. Happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, a simple one here. What does task-driven, back to 91A, that was referred to also in the parts of 90, what does that mean?
Yes, sir. What that means is that we will have a not-to-exceed amount of $1 million, $2 million potentially. And as we need the services, we will negotiate that specific service with the company and have a certain task that we want them to accomplish.
Okay, so it's just not to exceed that. In this case, it was $1,825,000.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Makes sense. All right, you've heard the presentation for item 91, engineering contracts. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 91?
LaForge, move for approval.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Freimiller, thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, just one quick comment. I really do appreciate we're seeing these links, the public links for transparency. I think ODOT's making some great strides in bolstering that transparency, so that very much appreciated, so thank you.
Yeah, good. Very good. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Nguyen. Item 92 is change orders with a cumulative total of $150,000 or less. This is for information only. Mr. Leonard, you're recognized to present.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Yes, I'd like to present item number 92, parts A through double D. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders of $150,000 or less. This item is presented for your information only, but I'd certainly be glad to answer any questions.
If there are no questions, Mr. Leonard, you're recognized to present item 93, change orders with a cumulative total greater than $150,000.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 93, parts A through double A, are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders greater than $150,000. Your approval is recommended, and I'd be glad to answer questions.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 93?
Motion,
moved.
Dyson.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Grimsley.
Thank you. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Item 94 is proposed county improvements of roads and bridges work plan. Mr. Mitchell, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item 94 for in a collaborative effort with counties and circuit engineering districts across the state, the department has compiled a comprehensive 5-year county improvement for roads and bridges plan. The SERB plan's funding is currently derived from a portion of the revenues from the Motor Vehicle and Registration Act as authorized in Oklahoma Statute 47, subsection 1104. The SERB 5-year plan considers the vital needs of the county transportation system and addresses the needs within the financial constraints of the program. This approach guarantees the effectiveness of the proposed SERB 5-year work plan improvements. Approval is recommended.
Very good. And Mr. Mitchell made this presentation to each of the subcommittees also previously this morning. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 94?
So moved, Grimsley.
Thank you. And a second?
Second. By
Commissioner Shannon, thank you. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Mitchell. Item 95 is proposed bid openings. Ms. Bryant, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Item 95, proposed bid openings, consist of the final August 2024, tentative September 2024, and tentative October 2024 bid opening. The department recommends approval.
And you've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 95?
So moved, Grimsley.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Coburn.
Thank you. And any discussion? Please cast your vote. Thank you, Ms. Bryan. Item 96 is awards. Mr. Goka, you're recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item 96 is the awards for the June bid openings. It will be in two parts. Part A is for the June 13th regular bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from the June 13th bid opening referred to by call order be awarded. Call order 300, 308, 310, 315, 320, 321, 330, and 331. It is recommended that the following items from the June 13 bid opening referred to by call order be rejected. Call order 305. Part B, from the June 20th regular bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from the June 20th bid opening referred to by call order be awarded. Call order 400, 410, 420, 425, 430, and 431. This concludes the recommendations and approval is requested.
Thank you, Mr. Goka. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 96? Thank you.
Second, John.
And Commissioner Junk seconds. All right. Any discussion, gentlemen? All right. Please cast your vote. Measure passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Goka. Item 97 is a director's report. Director Gatz, you're recognized to present.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I am extremely excited for Brandon and Jason in their new roles. They are certainly ODOT veterans, and they're going to do a great job leading Bridge Division and project management. So again, we're very thankful that we have individuals like Jason and Brandon that are well positioned to be able to step into those leadership roles and carry the agency forward. So congratulations to them. Appreciate your consideration this morning of the County Improvements for Roads and Bridges program. That is one of our most important interactions with county government, and the plan is really representative of some good investment opportunities out on the county system, and is become instrumental in helping them make progress on their bridges and the rest of the county road system. Can be an extremely challenging program to administer, and once again, I'd recognize Matt and his team for the work that they do interacting with county commissioners to make sure we get dollars to the county system as expeditiously as possible. So in that same vein, I want to thank Chairwoman Miller for being with us today and taking the time to come sit in the commission meeting, and also, more importantly, recognize her for the job she does as chairwoman of the Transportation A and B Committee and subcommittee. And she has been a long advocate for transportation and represents investment in transportation very well in the House of Representatives. So again, we want to appreciate the work that she does. She was instrumental in over the last two legislative sessions in securing the one-time retro dollars, and that certainly is going to be a extremely helpful tool in the toolbox as we rebalance our 8-year construction work plan. But I will tell you without hesitation, she works diligently in our interest, and we couldn't have a better representative on the House Subcommittee for Transportation. So, Chairwoman Miller, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We celebrated 25th year anniversary of the Heartland Flyer. Hard to believe that it's been 25 years in service again. We lost the Heartland Flyer service in 1979, which was again just Amtrak service at the time. But it took us until 1999 to reestablish. Senator Don Nichols was instrumental in making that happen. And we've been able to keep that Heartland Flyer going through a partnership with Texas. I think we've got a video that we're going to queue up. And that was a sold-out train, and we were extremely excited to celebrate that 25th year anniversary. We had Amtrak officials in town to help us celebrate, and they recognized the success of the Heartland Flyer. Year in, year out, it's recognized as one of the highest service levels of any of the Amtrak lines. And again, this will be a year-long celebration marking that 25-year passenger rail service from Oklahoma City down to Fort Worth. So again, it was a significant milestone for us, and congratulations to Jared Swinison and his team in planning and multimodal for the work that they do and the coordination they do with Amtrak and also the Burlington Northern Railroad, whose line that Amtrak runs on. Some major projects. Thank you this morning for your consideration of State Highway 82 south of Tulsa, or south of Tahlequah, apologize. That's a $30 million project. It's going to add shoulders and resurface about 7 miles of State Highway 82, and that's in Cherokee and Sequoyah counties, and it runs on the east side of Lake Tenkiller. That's from Cookson north to Illinois River crossing, and then from the Cherokee-Sequoyah County line south to near Black Gum. The safety improvements include adding shoulders and improving some of the geometry and reconfiguring driveways and intersections. And the project's going to begin late this fall, be about a year and a half to complete. Anytime we're working in an area around a major recreational facility, which will be the Tenkiller Lake area, we want to make sure the traveling public is aware. It won't necessarily impact this year's lake season, but it will definitely impact next year's, as we'll be well underway with that project during lake season next year. We'll do our best to manage traffic, but we will want everybody, and we'll continue to advise the public of the progress on that project, but just for everybody's awareness. Also, Interstate 40 near Shawnee, we've got the resurfacing project that you considered that will kick off US 177 east about 5 miles into Shawnee, and it's estimated to start in August, but will be optimistically finished by Halloween. So again, quick hitting resurfacing project. We've got night work incorporated into that to assist with lessening the impact to the traveling public. But we know nonetheless working on any interstate, really 35, 44, I-40 is extremely impactful to traffic. And it doesn't really matter what region of the state you're in, what section of the state. The traffic volumes we see on the entirety of the interstate system now, you just can't work on it hardly without having a significant impact to traffic. So we'll be mindful, try to keep everybody moving through a very safe work zone. But at the same time, as with night work, we'll want the public to be diligent and pay attention during the course of that work. A little bit of a project update on a few projects. State Highway 152 in Canadian County, that's from Union City extending east into Mustang, about 10 miles. That's a significant project that is going to begin today. So in the definition of beginning today means the traveling public will start to see some significant activity out there that will be impactful to traffic flow. The commission awarded that project in December, so we're getting ready to start construction in earnest. Adding shoulders, resurfacing, and improving sight distance, and again, that's along 152 from Union City to Mustang. About a $40 million improvement, and that particular highway carries a significant amount of traffic between 81 and the Mustang proper, and certainly will be welcomed improvements. And project is slated to go through winter of 2025. We've got a little bit of a video on I-235, the bridge rehab, joint replacement that we did out here at the interchange, and again, very difficult project that I think is a testimony to the department working with our contractors to make sure that we are doing everything that we can to lessen the impact of traffic. We had the lanes narrowed and shifted both north and southbound on 235, created obviously some significant backups. But the thing that we can control, and we are very appreciative and want to recognize the work of Built Right Construction, is working together with the contractor to try to identify ways to accelerate that work. Built Right was able to schedule and put together a work schedule that worked round the clock. They went 24/7. They finished this entire project nearly 2 months ahead of what we considered to be a very aggressive work schedule, and the final lanes opened up on June 11th. Again, in an urban area where we have that kind of impactful traffic disruption, we want to do everything that we can to get that back open as quickly as possible. And again, appreciate the contractor and his work and his willingness to work with us to expedite it even beyond what we had established as an aggressive schedule. So job well done. And then we've got the final act of I-235, I-44 off Broadway. And that final act is the last leg of Interstate 235 and 44. And what that involves is the Lincoln Boulevard ramp to I-44 is closed for the final phase of that work, and that's affecting access to the main line. The ramp's going to give Lincoln Boulevard drivers an improved ramp to both I-44 and a direct lane onto the Broadway extension. About a $16 million project, again, that represents the last phase of that big interchange improvement. And it's taken us more than 12 years to make the construction improvements that we've made up there and to modernize that interchange. We definitely appreciate the patience of the traveling public while we did that significant amount of work. But the interchange is functioning at a level now that will carry us long into the future. So good improvement, desperately needed. We can never get to projects like that, or for that matter, we're not resourced to get to every project that we need to give attention to, and it takes us a little bit to get it done, but that interchange is everything that it should be now. So our safety campaign this month is focused on pedestrian safety. Everyone's a pedestrian at some point, and we need to be aware at all times. We want to work to create safer walking environments by maintaining safe driving speeds and putting down our distractions. Chances of a pedestrian surviving a crash rapidly decrease when the vehicle speeds above 30 miles an hour. You got to remember that even though we're in the prime of summertime right now, we will have school restarting soon, and we want to be attentive to school-age children. Injuries and fatalities occur more often to or outside of the school bus. So where we see those bus stops, we want to be particularly alert. Look out for pedestrians not just on sidewalks, but stay vigilant near schools, parks, shopping areas, transit stops, and pay attention because we're seeing more and more pedestrian traffic just even on the shoulders of the highway. So again, we need to be extremely careful. Slow down and move over if you're able when you see pedestrians out on the highways. And about 75% of pedestrians killed in traffic crashes are killed when it's dark outside. So don't forget to make sure that you're using your headlights as appropriate. And if you're a pedestrian and you believe you're going to be out at night, wear proper clothing and gear so you'll be as visible as you possibly can be. And again, coming into a major holiday, Independence Day, certainly encourage everyone to get out and celebrate Independence Day, always being mindful of the meaning of Independence Day and what it should mean to each of us. Think of our veterans and the people serving in our military. Always want to remember them at those on a daily basis, but also extra emphasis is when we have these type of holidays. And I'd remind everybody that if you're traveling, please buckle your seatbelt. Seatbelt usage is something we have to do a better job with, and I always want to remind everybody, and kind of in closing, buckle up if you're traveling over the Independence Day holiday and into the weekend. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you, and be happy to answer any questions that the commission may have of me.
All right. Thank you, Director Gatz. I'd like to add every now and then that we buzz through this meeting pretty quickly. We get our material on Friday, the previous Friday, and so we have the weekend to digest and look at it. And then we meet, all the commissioners are on subcommittees, and we meet at 9 or 9:30 for a period of time. And everything has been vetted and discussed and by us, and then bounced off this very competent professional staff that we have, that we are very fortunate as Oklahomans. And so I remain impressed with everyone that I've been in touch with. And so thank you, staff, and thank you for doing a great job. If commissioners have no other comments, then I'd hear a motion for item 98. Excuse me, Bobby?
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. I hear a motion for item 98, which is adjournment.
So I would like to say one thing before adjournment.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I would like to thank the employees and all the people in Division 5. They've got about an 8 or 10 mile route that they have just began working on. It'll be the wind down of the 4-lane road that goes from Woodward, Oklahoma, all the way to Oklahoma City. When I got on the Highway Commission, there was about 5 miles of that road completed. And when we get this next 8 or 10 miles done, it'll be 4-lane all the way to Woodward. And we certainly wouldn't have done it without Division 5, because there's a lot more in 5 than in 6 in that route. And just thank you guys very much, and thank you to the employees and everybody that worked together on that. It just makes our drive so much more peaceful on a 4-lane road going to Woodward, Oklahoma City, I can promise you. But thank you all very much.
Very good. Do I hear a motion for item 98, which is adjournment?
So move.
All right, Commissioner Shannon, thank you. And a second?
Second, Dyson.
Very good. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you.